Howdy, folks. I'm Brian.
I'm Amber.
And here's some Saturday morning quiet Reddit. Alright, folks, our first letter is titled, Am I a jerk for not punishing my 7-year-old daughter for her play relationships? My husband and I have a 7-year-old daughter together, Layla. A few months ago, Layla got her a boyfriend, Lucas. They are both 7, so it's obviously not a real relationship. They just hold hands sometimes, and they drew each other hearts for Valentine's Day. This week, Layla was apparently holding hands with another boy who also sent Layla a Valentine's Day love letter, and Lucas took offense to it. We found out because Lucas's parents called us to tell us that Lucas won't be coming over this Sunday like it was originally planned, because Lucas is mad at Layla. My husband wants us to punish Layla and wants me to have a talk with her about faithfulness. At first, I thought he was joking, but no, he was serious. He says that Layla cheated on Lucas and that I, as her mother, should do something about it. I told my husband that Layla is 7, she's not a cheater, and I won't treat her as such. He then accused me of raising a cheater and encouraging the bad behavior. Am I the jerk for not wanting to punish Layla? Alright, folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk. There's a natural consequence for this, and that's that Lucas may not be her friend anymore.
Yeah.
It's fine to have a conversation, and explain that sometimes when you do things, people's feelings will get hurt, but she doesn't owe it to be in a relationship with Lucas, and that's important to make clear.
Yeah.
She doesn't owe either of these boys a relationship.
Oh,
exactly.
She
doesn't need to cater to their feelings above her own. So it's important to teach your children to, have respect for your friends and treat their friends nicely. And if there's any conversation, I'd say it should be sometimes, when we do things, they can hurt each other's feelings type of thing. But again, make it very, very clear that it's not incumbent upon her to keep Lucas happy.
Yeah. And I think that that's really the important thing. If you do end up sitting down and talking with her, make this a teachable moment, not you're cheating and you need to be faithful to one person forever. I think that can really mess a kid up. And also, the one question I think that's been raised about this is whether or not the parents, Lucas's parents, are in the wrong here. It depends really on whether or not they called and are like, your daughter is cheating on Lucas and he's mad now and he's not coming over, versus, oh, hey, Lucas isn't going to be coming over here Sunday because he's a little upset right now. And then, the dad pulling it out of them that they were cheating or something like that, or the relationship fell through. Not cheating, of course.
Yeah. Well, and I think there's not enough information for me to make a judgment on that, but the OP's husband is definitely a jerk in here. And I also like how he's like, you need to do something about this as the mom, as if only mothers can, do things for their children. It's like, are you not a parent too? I'm glad you're not taking initiative here because that would be bad. But also, you need to change your attitude about who does childcare.
I think the dad needs some therapy. Honestly, I think that this isn't looking good, and I'm a little afraid of what lessons he might impart on his daughter. And that's not a good place to be at. I think he really needs to have a reflective type of thoughts process on why he feels like Lucas is being cheated on, or why he feels that these relationships as kids matter so much. Because parents really should not be parentifying or adultifying their children, especially their 7-year-old children. So I think that this is definitely be a moment for OP to really reflect on the state of the relationship and whether or not her husband has some problematic ideals that need addressing. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Grander45 says, she's 7. It's ridiculous to call her a cheater. At the same time, you can sit her down and explain why Lucas is upset and doesn't want to see her. That's more than enough of a lesson. And Jane Q says, yeah, not the jerk. An explanation is appropriate, but not an accusation or punishment. Kinda worried about her husband. And the Queen of Snarkness says, I guess, according to your husband, I'm technically a bigamist since I married a kid in 3rd grade during recess and then remarried someone else 12 years later without properly divorcing my first husband. Also means that every other relationship I had after that first wedding means that I was cheating. What a monster I am. not the jerk, although you should talk to your daughter about hurting Lucas's feelings. Edit, I'm a little amazed at the number of people who also had elementary school weddings. I thought that I was so original back then. For anyone interested, my husband knows the story. I told him several years ago. His main question was whether or not my third grade husband was now the lead singer of a famous band because they share the same name. He isn't, which we're both disappointed about. I've never been able to find third grade husband on social media, so I have no idea what happened to him. I wonder if he ever became a Ghostbuster like he dreamed he would and offered me the position of secretary. And Hippolyta 1987 says, just tell your husband that she's preparing for her polyamorous lifestyle that begins at age 10. All right, folks, it is coffee time. Grab your coffees of choice. I've got some coffee right here. And
I have some Mega Mint tea because I'm doing this right.
And Amber has some very watered down coffee.
It's not coffee, it's tea. All right, our joke. What do you call a kitten who has spreaded fins and loves to swim?
What do you call a kitten that has spread its fins?
Sprouted fins.
Has sprouted fins and... Well, you call a scientist for one, because that's not normal. I mean, I don't know a lot about kittens, but I do know that kittens should not be growing fins. So let me tell you, folks, if you ever encounter a cat and it has fins, then I would stay away, because you don't know what has caused that. And then you might call it a merkitten, but I don't know.
A catfish.
A catfish. No. I still hold that you call a scientist and immediately get it shipped off to some scientific lab to study.
No, I would have said a vet. You call a vet.
I think that's a little outside the scope of a vet, to be quite honest.
They'll call the appropriate people, but you're bringing the cat to the vet.
All right, well, you bring it to somebody who's more qualified than yourself. Let's put it that way. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks so much for joining me on this Saturday morning special. And of course, you know what makes it special? Coffee time. You too, of course. Thanks so much for watching. Amber, what's the moral of the story today?
Just the moral? I don't have to, jump through any hurdles today?
No, what's the moral? You expect, I was going to force you to jump through some weird, strange hurdles or something? That's bizarre.
I would say the moral of the story is, with childhood relationships, a lot of times there are natural consequences. You do not need to punish small children for holding hands with other children.
Yeah, I think that's true. Just let kids be kids. Mm-hmm. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you all tomorrow.
Bye.